Welcome into the Cactus Golf Podcast, episode number 88. That's a good, you were doing the jerseys for a while. Like the jersey numbers.
Yeah,
athletes. I got Marvin Harrison. You got Des Bryant. I don't know. That's the only sport I got. I don't have baseball or basketball numbers for 88.
Yeah, I don't know either, to be honest. I don't know. Is there basketball players that are 88 that are that?
I'm sure there was one somewhere around there,
Probably.
at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure
there was some baseball, some pitcher or something like that. I don't know.
I would say so.
Episode number 88 of the Cactus Golf Podcast. We got a nice, this is going to be a good one. We got the U.S. Open. It's going to be exciting tournament there at Pinehurst number 2. But we'll get started off with some news and notes. We'll do the Memorial Tournament review. Then we'll get into the before the U.S. Open preview, we have the LIV Houston review. Then we'll have the U.S. Open preview, and then we'll get into some betting corner. Let's go ahead and get into it here. Get into the news and notes. Got a few things here. We didn't have much last week. This week we had a couple things here. Did you see the comments Nate Lashley had on Jay Monahan? Nate Lashley at the RBC Canadian Open called Jay Monahan a chicken shit.
Oh, verbatim?
Yeah. So he said that the signature events being limited at fields just make no sense. And, went on to, kind of just bash Jay Monahan, not being able to stand up to the players. And
does he qualify for signature events?
No, but I think, that's part, yeah, you can say that. But also, it does kind of make sense that, those tournaments, you get, a top 10, you get paid more. And, yeah, he probably has some animosity because he's not in them. It's like what Rory said to, in that meeting, whatever it was a couple of years ago, just play better.
Yeah.
But also, a top 10, people were giving the amateur that was at the Memorial Tournament this past weekend, Jackson Coyven, for making the cut. It's oh, wow, the youngest, whatever, to make the cut or whatever at the Memorial. But also, that doesn't mean as much anymore because it was a 70, 80 player field. Doesn't mean quite as much as versus a 150 player field. Yeah. And that's what Nate Lashley was getting at. these top 10s, they don't.
But then
mean
I guess
much.
the reverse thought of that is 70, 80 player field, but it's the best players versus 150 might not have the best either. Because usually the full field.
Well, this year now, but in previous years, those fields were still pretty.
True.
Before the signature and designated event, era, it was still really good really good fields in those 150 player fields, I would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he was calling out Jay Monahan, not the first person to do so. So I wanted to go over that, and then we did find out that Adam Scott, his his major streak is going to be extending to 92. He gets into the U.S. Open. The next closest we were talking about last week is actually Jordan Spieth at 43. 43 majors in a row.
Oh, got it. Wow.
Yeah, so Jordan Spieth's 43 because Rory is only at 21. I looked into this because he missed his Open title defense, the Open Championship title defense at... Oh my gosh, I just looked at the name and I'm blanking now. St. Andrews, because in 2015, he had an off-course injury prior to the tournament playing soccer, just kicking around a soccer ball.
Yeah.
So he wasn't able to defend his title at St. Andrews because he had an Achilles injury. So he wasn't able to play. So that's what ruined his streak. He would be, I thought I had it in my notes here, if he didn't miss that, if he wouldn't be able to play that, I think he'd be somewhere in the 40s, I want to say.
Oh, wow. So Adam Scott is...
Yeah, far and away.
Far away.
Yeah.
Versus all them. That's interesting.
But yeah, Jordan Spieth is number 2 right now at 43. I think Adam Scott's already in the Open Championship, so I think it's going to get to 93 as well.
Wow.
So he's got that one in hand.
How much longer is Jordan Spieth going to last?
Because
obviously he's going to make... He's won a Masters, correct?
Jordan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's got
lifetime
that for life.
There. He's going to be in the top 60 OWGR for, gosh, you got to be for the next 6, 7
What is he
years.
at right now? Do you know?
I would assume top 20. Right, top 20, I would say. He hasn't been doing too hot. He got off to a good start earlier in the season, but not too hot lately.
26.
26. So yeah. Okay, so not even top 20. Okay.
26 and.
But top 60, I think, gets you into all the majors. I want to say, or maybe top 50 gets you into all the majors. Some of them are a little different.
Yeah.
But I think he'll be, consistently in the top 50 for at least another 6-7 years, I would say.
He'd be in jeopardy if, and this is a big if, they decided to go away from OWGR into a different tracking way.
I don't think that's going to
happen.
happen.
That's a huge if.
Yeah,
but
I think he can bank. I think he's safe there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But I had one more thing that came out today.
Yeah, I was going to say it too.
Yeah, today. Well, I assume it's the same thing. Rory.
Yeah.
Not getting divorced.
Yeah.
Shout out marriage. Shout out counseling. I think it was so funny because then in their like press release or whatever it was, not press release, but I think in the statement Rory put out, it's like they had unreconcilable differences. Well, I guess they were reconcilable.
Yeah, yeah. That's I don't know. It looks a little weird. I mean, again, to each their own, but like it looks kind of bad. Like,
I mean, divorce sucks. You don't want to see it happen.
A month later, like you go out and you make that saying like it's unfixable essentially. And then a month later, like, we worked it out. We're good. Like, how did it get to the point where it went public? I guess.
Yeah, you'd think they would keep it under wraps until they, like, knew.
Yeah.
Like, look, we're not going to, like, file, like, do any of this until you, like, no. You'd rather just keep it under wraps. And then if you do, like, reconcile, then, like, nobody has to know anything. Right? What?
She signed a prenup?
Did you talk about that?
I think so. I remember seeing something about she signed a prenup. So she might have been realized, like, oh, that's how much I'll get?
Well, wasn't the like rumor was that like there was some relationship between Rory
and the announcer,
the reporter,
yeah,
Amanda Balionis, I think her name is.
I couldn't.
I think it's Amanda Balionis,
blonde girl.
Yeah, that does the interviews after the rounds. Yeah.
I
think that was a rumor. I don't know. I mean, that could be completely false. I have no idea.
There was a lot of talk about that. Yeah. I did see that too.
So, but I mean, hey, they have a kid together. They shout out marriage, shout out counseling. Good for them. You don't want to see. They have a kid together, so I think they said that it was just best for their family to stay together.
If they did see a counselor, I hope someone they use that to gain some business. They must be the best counselor to fix it.
He needs to like get his name on like the hat, instead of Morgan Stanley, get the name of the counselor, Jesus maybe his name is Morgan Stanley. I don't know.
Maybe it is. Who knows?
That'd be unfortunate. All right, but that's all I had.
That'd be bad SEO, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That might suck.
Yeah, let me tell you, you might have to change your name. You have to do like the like Stephen A. Smith. You have to like put your initial there, like Morgan D. Stanley or something like that, instead of like Morgan Stanley. Yeah, you have to do something like that.
Something out.
Yeah,
that might be tough.
But all right, that's all I had for news and notes. You have anything?
No. That's the only thing I wanted to add was the Rory piece.
Yeah, that came out just recently. Let's get into the Memorial Tournament review here. Scottie gets his 5th win of the season in a tough test at Muirfield Village.
Yeah.
He's the first player with 5 wins in a season overall since Justin Thomas in 2016-17, who also had 5. So first player with 5 just in general. He is the first player since Tom Watson in 1980 to have won 5 times on the PGA Tour before the U.S. Open. So he won 5 times quicker than like Tiger ever did. And the first time before the U.S. Open, first time to have 5 wins before the U.S. Open since Tom Watson in 1980. Yeah. So some historic stuff Scottie's been doing here. Collin Morikawa, knocking on the door again. Didn't quite get it done. Put up a good fight against Scottie. But he's playing, I mean, I don't think we have to say it. He's playing extremely well. We've seen it over the last month or so. 7 top 25s in a row. 5 of those are top 10s. All but one of those finishes were at signature events or a major. So Collin Morikawa knocking on the door, but can't quite get over that hump that nobody can get over, which is Scottie Scheffler.
Scottie, that's it, just Scottie. I did say a stat that this course played the second hardest this season behind Augusta so far, and we'll get into it at the U.S. Open, but it looks like that's going to might be number 1.
It was a warm up. We'll call it a warm up.
Yeah.
Well, especially Sunday was extremely tough. I mean, Scottie shot 2 over, still was able to hold on. I think the scoring average on Sunday was like 75, and there were just a ton of 80s you saw on scoreboards.
I believe it. I'm looking like on this snip I have right here, and was par on that course was 71 or 72.
At Muirfield,
yeah,
I want to say it was 71.
Yeah, there was like a couple I see that they even finished in the top 20.
Or 72,
72. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the top 20 finished under par on Sunday alone. So that's pretty crazy. But yeah, I mean, it looked. It seemed extremely challenging on Sunday, especially. You can even just finishing up on 18 with Collin Morikawa and Scottie. Both their balls went long, had a tough chip on, and but Scottie prevails yet again. Thank God his putter's working for him right now, because could have went the other way.
I think we're gonna have people are going to be in the next meetings. They're not going to be talking next player meeting. They're not going to be talking LIV PIF or PIF PGA merger. They're going to be scolding Rory for suggesting that Scottie
goes mallet.
They're going to put Rory on a stake and burn him alive because he suggested that. That was it. Ever since then, it's been the Scottie show.
I think he had one runner up when he changed to the mallet, but the rest were wins or pretty close. Besides the PGA Championship, so
that was it. I mean, if that was the one thing they had, and even before he switched, he was still contending. So
yeah,
it's just superhuman now.
He's a different level. So. And he did break your stat of his first win out of April.
Yep. First win
first win as a father, first win out of April. Yep. List can go on and on. First win in June of 24. Just kidding. What are you looking at?
I'm looking to see how many 80s there were. I remember looking. There was quite a few 80s, I want to say, on the scoreboard. So, yeah, we had Keegan shooting 80 on Sunday. That amateur Jackson Coyvan shot an 80. Shane Lowry shot an 85 on Sunday. Yeah, that's not good. After a 68 as well on Saturday.
Because he had 3 hole outs that round, right?
Yeah, so he shot... It was, what's that, 17-stroke difference from one day to the next. So, and I think, who was it, had a 45 on one of the nines. I think it was Ricky had a 45 on a back nine or something like that, I think it was. Jeez. On a 9 holes, yep. So, it was tough for sure. Ricky, also DFL, not good for Ricky.
No.
Yeah, DFL had an 82 on Friday to miss the cut. Not good. But yeah, it was a really tough course. As you can see, Scottie, the winner, was only finished at 8 under. So definitely a tough test, and I think it was kind of fun to see something different, not another 20 under finish. And I think it'll be even more tough this coming week. But let's get into the rest of the top 10 here. So like I said, Scottie finished number 1 at 8 under. Collin Morikawa solo 2nd. Adam Hadwin solo 3rd. Christian Bezuidenhout solo 4th. And then for tied 5th, we had Matt Fitzpatrick, Ludwig Aubert, Sepp Straka, and then T8 we had Hideki, Sung Jae Im, Tony Finau, Xander Schauffele. Quite a stacked leaderboard there.
Yeah, not too bad. This is the first time we've went a solo 1, 2, 3, 4. Usually there's always
there's a tie usually somewhere in there
as well. I'd be really astonished if we went top 10 solos
that. Would be very difficult.
Wild.
Yeah, that would be very difficult.
That'd be very wild.
Kind of just showing again how tough the course played. Scottie, like I said, only finished 8 under, but 3rd was 4 under. So that's a big, pretty steep drop off from 1st and 2nd all the way down to 3rd. So yeah, definitely can't be understated how tough that was, especially on Sunday, like we mentioned. Some other notables here: Hovland and Rory finished T15. Corey Connors and Tommy Fleetwood T20. Max Homa, Akshay Bhatia T22. JT, Jason Day, Brian Harmon, T33. Then a host of notable missed cuts were Wyndham Clark, Jordan Spieth, Patrick Cantlay, and like I said, Ricky Fowler.
Wyndham's been struggling.
Wyndham, ever since that Pebble Beach win that was shortened by the weather, just
got into his head. It was with an asterisk.
Maybe is the weather what messed him? Is that he needed to finish it out, or was it a blessing? Was that round going to be the tipping point? Would he have lost the tournament because of that?
Could have been. Who knows?
Who knows?
He's having a tough middle part of this season right now.
Yeah, it was Scottie and him who were 1-2, 1-2 in back-to-back tournaments, and he was the only one that was looking.
Arnold Palmer, was that the first one or one of them?
Probably.
I think so.
Yeah, Arnold Palmer and the Players, because Wyndham's flip out putt.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're correct.
So
ever since then, it's just
he was the only one that looked like he could compete with it, and then it drove him crazy. Keep finishing behind Scottie, drove him crazy, and he's just Couldn't keep up with it.
Rory needs to give him some advice now.
Right. All right, you got 2 truths ready?
I dug some more up, yep. So for the 5th time this season, here is Scottie Scheffler's 2 truths and a lie. So tell me where the lie is. He met his wife in college, where they started dating ever since. His son's name is Bennett, and he is in the top 5 all-time money list.
Yeah, so Bennett, definitely, I know that. They've mentioned that probably 1,200 times on the broadcasts. Bennett, top 5 all time. Well, he's at 24 million this year already, which is double what Xander's is.
Xander's at 11?
Like 11 and a half, something like that. Yeah, he doubled up Xander, them are 2. Ted Scott, I mean, he's just raking it in. He's got to be top 5 caddy of all time as far as winnings. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Top 5 all time already. I don't think I can go there. It's really only been 2 years, right? Or 3 years, I guess. 3 years since he burst out on the scene, winning the Masters that first year.
It was 2 years ago.
Well, it's 3 now, because John Rahm won in between his Mastery wins.
Yeah. True.
Oh, so I guess 2.5, kind of. I guess.
Yeah, whatever you want to say.
Whatever you want to say. What was the first one again?
He met his wife in college, where they started dating ever
since.
since.
College. Man, I don't know.
Go marriage.
I know, yeah. Shout out marriage again. I'm going to say, 50-50 chance here. I don't think he's top 5 all time yet. Oh. Is he already? Yeah, dang, that's crazy.
Number 5 at
those freaking elevated signature events, man. Those boosted
$4 million
boosted
payouts.
Purses, yeah.
He's got $67 million so far.
Dang.
He's number 5. And he's close to number 4. I forgot who it was on top of my head now, but he's close. He's hunting it right now. He met his wife in high school.
I kind of thought that might have been it. Yeah.
They were high school sweethearts.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm struggling on finding more stuff with Scottie here. If he wins again, I don't really know what else to talk about, unless he gives us something here. But
just ask me if he's been arrested. That'll be a good one.
That'd be a good one.
That'd be a good one.
That'd be a great one.
All right, let's get into the LIV Houston here. So Carlos Ortiz, he gets his first LIV win. Ortiz, he got his only PGA Tour win in Houston as well.
Yeah,
so that's kind of interesting. At Memorial Park.
I wish that was a 2 truths and a lie.
Yeah, it was a different course, but in Houston as well. So that's interesting. Interesting tie-in there. Adrian Meronk has his best finish in his first season on LIV with his second place finish. Meronk, he led the Cliques to their first team championship. So Cliques get their first team championship, and Meronk helps them to that. Adrian Meronk playing pretty well lately as well. We had some kind of, I don't want to say no names, but some of the less known names on LIV really showing out lately. So that's interesting to see. Top 10 going over this. The top 10 here is Carlos. Oh my gosh, talking too fast here. Carlos Ortiz first, Adrian Meronk second. T3 we had Patrick Reed, David Puig, Sergio Garcia solo fifth, and then a few here at T6: Anirban Lahiri, Graham McDowell, Lucas Herbert. And then T9 we had Brooks Koepka, Cameron Tringale, Martin Keimer, Paul Casey. Martin Keimer, shout out, he won the last U.S. Open at Pinehurst No. 2. And then Patrick Reed, shout out as well. He is losing his streak of majors. He will not be in attendance this week. He is breaking his streak there. So unfortunately, you won't see Patrick Reed here this week at Pinehurst. But that was our top 10.
You also won't see John Rahm, unfortunately.
Yeah, I forgot to add that to the notes. That's right. John Rahm did withdraw
just today.
Yeah, he tried to show up late and just kind of, I guess, see what healing he could let happen to his little foot, whatever he had there.
His little foot.
His little foot.
His little foot.
His little foot injury.
His club foot.
Is it that one?
I don't know.
I kind of figured it was that one.
It's his left foot, so I don't know.
I think his right foot's the one that's like the club.
Yeah, I know it's his left foot because it says in between his pinky toe and the toe next to it.
Is it?
There's some infection, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Huh.
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but he's not been playing very well anyway. So
No. I told you he wasn't focused, man. He's been at that concert drinking those beers.
I low-key almost picked him to miss the cut as part of my betting corner, but I didn't. Which I would have had to make an adjustment if I did, but I didn't. But I think it would have been a good bet because, he is not playing well right now at all. Another note here, Sergio Garcia, he gets into the U.S. Open as an alternate. So we will have a total of 13 LIV golfers teeing it up this week at Pinehurst. LIV returns after the U.S. Open as well in Nashville. So the week after the U.S. Open at Pinehurst, they'll be in Nashville teeing it up alongside another designated event. Yeah. Or a signature event, sorry. Yeah, so that's they're competing in back-to-back tournaments outside of the majors. So that's kind of odd scheduling there. But, another one in the U.S., so at least a good time zone for us to watch at least. Sometimes when they're overseas, kind of hard to watch them.
Watch a single minute this.
I didn't watch any this week actually either. I was.
We were talking about boasting of good time to watch. No, I didn't watch.
Yeah, I didn't. I just had some stuff going on, so I didn't able to get to watch it. But I'll try and watch a little bit of Nashville. That'll be good. All right, I have two truths for LIV here. If you're interested.
No, that's okay. You can pass.
No, too bad. All right, so Carlos Ortiz, I have a couple.
I have no idea.
I have a couple truths and a lie for him. Okay. So let's read them off here. So he was the third Mexican-born player to win on the PGA Tour. He's never made the cut at a major. His favorite sports team is Real Madrid.
Okay. So I have no idea on the first one, so I'm just going to assume that's true. The second one was he's never made a cut at a major.
Correct.
And the third one's Real Madrid, which would be interesting because he is from Mexico. I don't know soccer that well. Do they have a Mexican team?
I mean, there's Mexican soccer teams, but they're not
in that big league.
Like they have a separate league.
Got it. Okay. He's only won one PGA event. I think just statistically, I have to say the he's never made a cut is the right answer.
Is the right answer?
Is the answer that I'm selecting as it's wrong.
Okay.
Yes, that makes sense. What you're saying,
Is the lie.
Is the lie.
There you go.
Yeah.
It is the lie, actually. He's made 2 cuts. His best finish is like a 50th, so barely. Yeah. But he's missed a lot of cuts. I think I didn't count how many majors he's played in, but I think it was probably at least a dozen. He's only made 2 cuts. But not too great at the majors.
He's a Madrid fan.
He is a
Madrid fan. What soccer team do you like?
Tottenham.
What's that? Where's that at?
It's in England.
Oh, okay. So what other teams are in England that's in the...
Oh, there's a ton.
Like, what's a big one?
Well, there's Liverpool, Manchester City, Manchester United are the biggest
Manchester,
ones.
I know that one. Okay.
Arsenal.
Okay, yeah. What the hell did you say? Tottenham.
I
never heard of that before. Spurs?
Tottenham Hotspurs.
Hotspurs. It gets worse.
What?
I don't know. It just sounds weird. Hotspurs.
Yep.
Interesting.
But Real Madrid's Spanish, so they're
they're
a different league.
Oh, okay. I don't understand this whole thing, dude. There's too many leagues. It's like, what's like the A League? Like, give me what's like.
I mean, the English Premier League is the most probably known in America,
and that's with.
But La Liga is the Spanish league.
Okay, they ever play each other?
Well, in the Champions League. That's where all of them come together.
So that should be the best league then, right?
Well, yeah, but it's not really that's where they all come together. They can play each other.
They don't play each other. Or they do play each other.
They do. Yeah.
Okay. And does it happen every year?
Yeah.
So how's it not the best league then?
Well, because it's like.
You mean dumb this down for me? I don't understand.
I mean, it's like because it's not like a league. This is what they call it, the Champions League. I don't know.
But it's not.
It's where they all come together. It's not a league. It's not like there's teams that are in the Champions League. They're part of these leagues that.
Do you have to qualify?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's kind of, in a sense.
I mean, not really. No.
Oh, that makes no
separate.
Sense.
You're not only in the Champions League.
I get that.
Yeah.
It's like.
I don't know how else.
Is it All-Star Weekend?
No.
Is it kind of like that? No.
There's not really a good correlation to American sports.
Got it.
I mean, I guess you could say no. I mean, I guess you could say high school, how you had we had IHSAA, like Indiana high school athletic or whatever.
Yeah.
Or like, what was your? I forget what we had.
Conference?
We had like a Big 8, I think, was our like high school conference.
Okay. Yeah, we had a
And
conference
then
too, I forgot what it was called.
that was like sectionals. Then you go to like you win that.
You go to regional,
regionals.
semi-state, and state.
I guess you could maybe call it.
Could
that.
you compare?
It'd be more like college actually. I guess like you have like your
D3.
conferences,
Okay.
and they all part of the NCAA. I guess, and that's when they go to like NCAA tournament. But I guess they're all part of the NCAA.
Yeah.
So I guess you could maybe correlate it to that. But
Could you say it's kind of, maybe not here, but hear me out, like LIV and PGA are separate leagues, but some of the players compete, you have to qualify for a major?
No, that's not.
No? No?
I think you're thinking too hard about this.
Well, it makes no sense to me, but...
And they're just they qualify for the Champions League. That's just what it is. It's not, just quit thinking about league. You're thinking too hard about the league here.
They just got to take it out of the name, I guess. Just the champions. Got it.
But that was the LIV Houston. We're not going to go too deep into that. We didn't watch a whole lot of it.
No.
So, but that was Carlos Ortiz for you. We can get into the main event here.
Let's talk about what we're going to watch now.
U.S. Open preview. Defending champion Wyndham Clark. Pinehurst number 2. Pinehurst, North Carolina. It's par 70, 7,540 yards. The forecast is looking pretty good. No rain. I guess you could call it good. The players are going to wish there was some rain because it's going to be firm and fast. Firm and fast.
Like the course we played, but faster.
Yeah. I don't know.
Those are quick.
But yeah, extremely difficult conditions. It's going to be, people are describing the greens as like hood of a car.
Oh.
So where it just
like,
bowls off,
yeah.
So that's not good. Wyndham was saying that the greens...
Turtle back.
Yeah, sure. There you go. This will be the 4th time the court... I'm sorry, I skipped my...
What were you going to say, Wyndham?
Yeah, Wyndham was saying that the greens are already borderline. I don't know, borderline what? I don't know. He just said borderline. That's all the quotes said. So
they're like borderline green, kind of light green. I don't know.
Yeah.
Borderline green.
I assume it means borderline, like, unplayable. I don't know. But
I'm guessing that's probably what it is.
So, well, yeah, it was kind of a weird quote that everybody was putting around there. But this will be the 4th time the course has been hosted at the U.S. Open. Why did I say that like that? 4th time this course will have hosted the U.S. Open. There you go. Payne Stewart won in 1999. He averaged 255 yards off the tee.
What?
When Payne Stewart won in 1999, his average off the tee was 255.3 actually. So
roll that ball back, baby.
Yeah, right.
Stupid.
So I think was Bryson saying his stock 7 was about like 230, something like that.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Stock 7 is just shy of Payne Stewart's off the tee average, so that'll be interesting to see where the winner maybe lands there. But I think it just goes to show you don't have to be like a bomber off the tee here at this course. Even Martin Keimer winning, I think back in 2014, wasn't a big bomber back then either. So I think it'll be interesting to see the different types of players that are in contention at the end of the day on Sunday. The past 3 U.S. Opens at Pinehurst number 2, there's only been 4 players under par.
So I'm reading this. So I was reading the borderline thing. I was trying to learn more about it. He said it's borderline and penal. So it's interesting. He's throwing some, like, he needs to dumb this down. Like, just tell us what it is here.
I think he is dumbing it down, but that's the problem. Using like one word. We need to elaborate here, Wyndham. Come on now.
So you said since when now?
So in the past 3 U.S. Opens at Pinehurst, which was 99, 05, and 2014, there's only been 4 players under par in all those.
Jesus.
And when Martin Keimer won, he won at 9 under. Second place was at 1 under, I think.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I did pull and again, obviously it changes locations. I'll make a post about this. But so out of the last 109 U.S. Open since they started keeping track of their total score, was apparently they were like, I look back on it like from like the early 1900s, they didn't have the total score difference, which was really interesting, to par. They had a total score, but not what it was to par.
Oh, just the strokes?
Yeah, so that was interesting. But anyway, since they started keeping track of, to par
Wouldn't
score,
that be easy to, like, find out?
I guess it depends on how the course was playing then. It could have been playing a different par, or if they changed, if the course is even around anymore. Over 100 years ago, I guess. But 54 of the 109, the winner has shot under par. That's it. So
I think we're going to see... I don't think we're going to see... I think the highest, I guess lowest score you'll see is 1 under. I think that's like the max. I think they are going to set it up. I mean, we're already with the weather, like I said. It's going to set up for a really hard course.
You see the videos of the course, and like they were dropping balls. I think you posted it, dropping balls in the green, and it just goes. Yeah. It doesn't stop. Like, it doesn't stop at all. And you leave anything short, it goes rolling right back down. Like, it's gonna be crazy. And again, like, I'm excited because it's gonna be challenging. But again, we've talked about this before. I'm excited. Not everybody's like this.
Yeah,
it's nice. It's a good time to watch because it's gonna be crazy difficult. But if this was all the time, I'd be like, man, Jesus, let's get something a little bit different here. So, I don't know. Anyways, I didn't see a purse still. They still haven't posted it.
I imagine it'll be $20 million.
Probably. I'd assume too. I saw Scottie, of course, is the favorite at plus 280, which is like the second lowest.
Yeah, I saw Tiger. 300, but yeah, it might have gone down since then. Yeah. Got a 156 player field. Top 60 in ties will be making the cut.
Yeah. Besides Scottie, its second best is Xander at plus 1,000. So it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a really, really.
So who's getting second place?
I didn't go Scottie this week.
I'm not either.
Yeah,
it's just not worth the money. I think laying that money.
I have.
You can do the winner without.
Chance, to be honest with you,
what
I have in my double chance.
You can do like the winners without, and I saw that you could do. I forget what they called it, but you could pick. Like an exacta almost, like 1-2, who finishes 1-2. But you can just pick the two. You don't have to pick the order.
Oh, okay.
So like you can bet these two finish in the top two, basically.
Yeah.
I forget what they called it on DK. I didn't play it, but it was kind of interesting. I didn't want to. I mean, I don't know. Just. It's hard enough to get the winner, right? Let alone, I mean, you guys are giving yourself a little bit of an out by picking. You don't have to pick the order exactly, but it was interesting at least. Glad they had the market open.
Where are you going this week?
I'm going back, same as last week. I'm going Morikawa.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's knocking on the door. Same as we're bashing.
We both had him last week.
I don't know. I had him last week.
I had him last week too.
But yeah, he's been knocking on the door, like I mentioned. Same as Xander. Xander was knocking on the door a little longer than Morikawa, and Morikawa already has his majors under his belt, so he doesn't have to break the seal there. Yeah. But I think he's knocking on the door. I think this course is going to fit him well. He's playing really well around the green. We saw him almost, nails chip that ball in on 18 to force a playoff. So he's around the greens playing really well. I think that's going to be really important this week at the Pinehurst. Just, being able to, you're not going to be able to, the greens are going to be hard to access anyway. You're going to have them, like we said, roll off the greens. So I think your chipping around the greens will be really important. He's been getting really good at that this year, and off the tees, he's outstanding as far as greens hit or fairways hit. I'm sorry. So I think it's going to fit him really well. And like I said, he's playing well. He's in form. So going back to the Morikawa.
I looked at my notes too. I also had him last week. I don't remember us both having them, but maybe we did. But I also have him this week too. So literally, everything that you just said is were my exact notes. Especially because you've mentioned Xander, right? A second ago, I had the exact same bullet point. So, the exact same.
Like he was knocking on the door, and now he's going to break through.
Yeah. I literally said, he continues to hang in there, and will repeat with exactly what happened with Xander.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
he's already, like I said, he already won 2 majors, so he has that kind of off. He's not that weight on him, maybe, but it's been a few years. I think he won in 2021. He won the Open Championship. Yeah, so it's been a while. So he hasn't won. I think he's won a tournament since then, but yeah, it's definitely been a while for Collin getting in the winner's circle. But you ready for a betting corner then?
I am. All right. So you had something kind of hit?
Well, I hit straight up. That's just what it ended up paying out. So I had, it was a sweat. I had where am I at here? I had my Corey Connors, Victor Hovland, top 20 with ties. Cash. Hovland made it a sweat, man. He looked so good on Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday, woo. Yeah. No good. Connors, he ended up hitting T20 on the number, so that with ties saved me. If it wouldn't have been with ties, then I would have lost out on some. It would have been dead heat, but with the ties got me over the hump there.
I had nothing last week. My closest one was Collin.
Yeah, Collin.
Outright. So unfortunately that didn't hit. I had Victor top 5 again. Same thing. Thursday, Friday was nice. Bryson, I had him outright. He was T18. Jason Day, I had him top 10. He was T33, and obviously Spieth was cut. So, nothing for me this week, unfortunately. So, standings are minus 494. You're minus 312.
Okay.
How many picks you got?
I have. I'll let you go first. I think
I've got four, so unfortunately.
Okay, I'll go first then. I am going. My first one here didn't play too well last week at LIV Houston, but I think this course can be a good fit for him. I'm going Cam Smith.
I almost went Cam Smith too.
I'm going Cam Smith, top 10. It's a plus 360. I'm going 23 units on it. Similar. I mean, he's like the magician around the greens, right, and on the greens. That's. Yeah. I mean, that's him, right? So. It's just, off the tee, how's he going to fare? If he has a good week off the tee, I think it's almost a lock in that he's, contending there with, how he is around and on the greens. And I think it's going to play similar maybe to like an Open Championship, how we saw him win at the St. Andrews, right? Before he moved over to LIV. It's going to, I think you're going to see a lot of like Texas wedges. I think it's going to play a lot like that, around the greens, being able to hit shots like you would play on a link style course. Yeah. We saw Tigers practice round, hitting the 4-iron around, a little bump and run action. So I think he's going to be able to fare really well around the greens. It's just a matter of, does he have a good week off the tee or not, basically. That's what it's going to come down to. But, I'm banking on that.
Did you do that bump and run on 18 on we played the other Sunday?
I never practiced it.
Was it you that did that, or was it your buddy? I can't remember who it was. Yeah. So. I remember that.
Yeah. And I actually was really working. I went to the range a few days ago, and I was really working on those like 50, like 70-yard shots. Yeah. I figured got a little better. Figured a couple things out.
Really good range day yesterday.
I did too. Overall, I did too. Like my buddy told me when I had that shallow take back on my driver, fix that. Game changer. I didn't realize I was doing that, but now that I know, like bombs away, baby.
That's good. Well, we'll find out. Well, there's not many long holes on Thursday we're playing, but it's a couple of them, I guess. All right. I went my first pick, top 10. I went Minwoo, top 10 this week, plus 550, 18 units. We saw him at the Masters, our first major this year, even with I think it was a thumb or was it a hand, one of the two. It's the same thing. Injury.
Wasn't it a foot?
No, it was his hand.
Was it?
It was something in his hand.
Because I think he said he was doing like an ab workout and like dropped it on his hand. I'm like, how do you do an ab workout?
Yeah, I don't know either.
They said it was like a side plank kind of situation. Oh. Which that would make sense. That would be like the only ab workout that makes sense, I feel like.
Yeah, I guess. Unless he's doing like Russian twists with a ball and like smash his finger or something. I don't know. But anyways, yeah. So I think a top 10 for Minwoo. He shows up in these big tournaments.
Yeah, we saw him with the Players a couple of years ago, I think. Yeah, in the final pairing. All right, Minwoo. I'm gonna go my next one here. This player is kind of like the cardiac kid, not Jordan Spieth, but I'm going Hideki. Oh yeah. Going Hideki, Matsuyama, top 10. He's plus 360 as well, same odds as Cam Smith. So I'm going 23 units again, same bet basically. I'm going Hideki. What's that?
I like that.
Yeah, he finished T8. Did I say this past week? Yeah, T8 this past week. We saw him at Riviera just absolutely catch fire earlier this year and steal that event. It's just a matter of like health for him. If he can, not have any, like we've seen him have neck and like kind of back issues kind of hinder him sometimes. Yeah. But as long as he can have a healthy week, another player. I'm leaning into like the around the green stat this week. He's I think top 5 around the green strokes gained on tour this year. So I'm leaning into that. He's generally a little more consistent than Cam Smith off the tee typically. So I think Hideki, I like his course fit here. We know he's got a major under his belt. We know what he can do in the biggest events. So I think top 10
this year already too. Obviously.
Yeah, won Riviera. Yeah, this year has Masters green jacket already. So we know what he can do. With the best players in the world. So I like top 10 for Hideki plus 360, 23 units.
My second, I'm going back to someone I think we both have bet on many times this year so far, but Aubert, a top 5 finish plus 450, 20 units for Ludwig this week. Again, similar story to Minwoo. He's showing up in the majors. Not so much in the PGA Championship, but the Masters is sticking out, obviously. He had a great week last week. I think he had a top 5 finish last week, if I'm not mistaken. I'll scroll up.
Yeah, he was T5.
Yep. So, I like that, he's finished T5 already in a pretty difficult course, and hopefully he can continue it on to...
Yeah, knee issues maybe behind him.
Yeah, it sounds like it is, because that came about, was it last month?
Was it before the PGA, right?
I think it was before.
Because he withdrew from the signature event prior to that, or before.
Yes, he did.
I think, yeah.
Yes, he did.
All right, Ludwig. You're not going to like this one.
Oh, boy.
But it's hidden. I can already spend the money. I already know what's coming in. Tiger to miss the cut.
Yeah.
Hovland to miss the cut.
Ooh.
Bryson to make the cut.
Okay. Okay.
So Hovland, Tiger to miss, Bryson to make. You can parlay those on ESPN, actually. You can parlay. I couldn't find it, the make miss on DK, but I found it on ESPN Bet. So you can parlay those 3 together. It's plus 691.
Huh.
So I like that. 16 units on that bad boy. Tiger, unfortunately, I just don't think it's going to be happening. The U.S. Open, even in his prime, was his worst major.
Yeah.
So I don't know, whatever.
He's only won one, I believe.
Well, he won the Pebble by 15 whatever strokes.
2000. I think it was the year 2000.
I think so.
Something like that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, over his course of his career, which is obviously a high standard, what he has. So saying that's his worst major is not a terrible thing to, but it is his worst one. So we'll see. And then also, it's just
coming out of the PGA Championship was the last event that he played.
Yeah, he made the cut at the Masters, but I think that's more of a course history. He's played it. You can kind of think your way around the course a little more here. I think it's just going to be your ball striking's just got to be on point. Absolutely. So
what's your thought process behind Hovland?
Well, we saw he just completely tanked Saturday, Sunday. And it's around the green, which is what he notably is really bad at. He kind of fixed it last year. He got better at it around the green, the chipping and whatnot. But I think, that is his weakest point, and that's what's going to, be most important here at this course. So I think recent performance, last couple rounds, and then also, what's his most important at this course. I think couples to be poor for Hovland. Bryson to make it. We obviously seen him play extremely well at the majors this past, couple months. And with the green complexes, they're saying, ball apex height, on your shots is most important. So being able to have, you're not going to be able to bomb and gouge the course because, it's not super long.
Yeah.
But, him, if he can get it out there a little further, then he'll be able to have shorter clubs coming in, easier to control, be able to stick the greens a little more theoretically than other players.
Yeah.
And he's one of the better players putting off the green as well. Like I said, the Texas wedge. Mm-hmm. So I think it kind of fits well for Bryson. So recent form, and then also I think it's could be a good course fit for him, just being able to have the shorter clubs into those tough greens.
Well, my second to last pick is Bryson. In fact, I have him top 5 plus 400, 22 units. So yeah, I echo everything obviously that you said. It is going to be important to have that. It makes sense to have a higher apex because you want that ball to hit and stick versus something that's coming in hot that even though you might have some good spin on it, it might, by the time it tries to spin, it might already be too late and start rolling off the bat.
Just have more control.
Yeah. So that's it.
Okay. Oh, here we go. I lost my notes here. All right, my next little turn here, I'll go with my little shotgun approach. I'm going Rory outright plus 1100. Going 15 units on that one. Similar to Bryson, he's going to be able to punch it out there a little further off the tee and then have some shorter clubs going in. Matt Fitzpatrick outright plus 4,000, 7 unit sprinkle. Max Homa outright plus 5,000, 6 unit sprinkle. So I think Fitzpatrick again. I kind of think it'll play similar, like I said, with Cam Smith, maybe a link style course, and I think Matt Fitzpatrick already has a U.S. Open under his belt. Yeah. So I think
he did last week too.
Yeah, I think he can have a chance. Yeah, played pretty well last week. So I think
shot under par on Sunday too.
That means it all. There you
go.
Yeah. So I think he'll be able to at least contend a little bit, have a shot. Homa, I don't really have a lot of stats behind it. I just feel like he's,
This is
we saw him at the Masters at least contend there. I don't think he's in poor form by any means. He's one of the better putters on tour. So if again, around the green, on the green is gonna be extremely important. So if he can get real hot with the putter, I kind of just want to see it. That was more of a I want to see it pick than anything. But
fair enough.
Yeah, I like that little 3-pack there.
That's not bad. I struggle with Homa right now.
What's it like 50-1? I think that's just good odds for Homa too.
Yeah. All right, my last is a double chance. A guy named Collin Morikawa and this guy named Scottie Scheffler. Double chance plus 220, a whopping 40 units. 40 units, the most money units I ever put on a bet for those two, but obviously I had to be in the odds only bet plus 220. So I feel Morikawa, but it's so hard to fade Scottie still. But again, it's like one of those moments where it's like, how long? How long can this really keep going? But each week he continues to improve.
I mean, Scottie notably, like, around the greens is a magician as well. I mean, we see him chip in at least like once a tournament at least.
He's this dude's just a different animal.
We did see him. I think it's going to be a stress. I mean, it's always kind of a stressful week watching your picks. It's just like, oh my gosh, he's right on the border. But it'll be extremely stressful, I think, this week. So we saw Scottie have a couple doubles and then like a triple, at the Memorial, and he was still able to overcome it. I think we're going to see quite a few doubles, definitely some triples. So I mean, it's going to be up and down the leaderboard quite a bit, I think. So it might be kind of a more stressful weekend. And we did see him, like I said, have some doubles and triples, have some volatility. Last week was still overcome it. But yeah, I think I don't know, winning 6 wins. I mean, who knows? I mean, as well as he's striking it, it's hard to bet against it. But I think it's a safe bet. If you had to pick Scottie versus the field, I mean, obviously he's taking the field. So it's a smart bet. But all right, my last pick, I'm going Morikawa as well, but I'm going to win by 2+. I'm going back to that pick there to win by 2+. Like I said, we saw Martin Keimer win, I think it was 7 or 8 strokes in 2014.
Yeah.
So win by 2+, plus 2,800 for that one. His outright just straight up was 14, so you get double the odds for win by 2+. So I'm going 10 units on that one. That's my final pick.
That's it.
Yeah, I didn't have any special bets. I should have had some special extra bets like I had for the Masters and whatnot for this one, but I didn't come up with any and put any on my notes. Maybe I'll play some a little later though.
I had to put money back in DraftKings. So I will not place any special bets this week.
It's like bending the knee. It's like
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a long time since I put money in DraftKings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not good.
Yeah, the Akshay and the Steven Yeager wins solidified me for a while.
Yes, I'm sure.
Solidified me for a hot minute.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine for sure.
But not good when you have to bust out the old wallet.
It's a bad feeling.
Pay DK a little bit.
It's a bad feeling. Other than that, I know we're going to talk about we're doing another live stream again for this month for the members on June 30th, and this week we are giving out a Odyssey AI1 Jailbird Cruiser putter. These names, man, they're too long. Way too long. So we're giving away one of those to a lucky member at the end of the month, and then we're doing the pool for the pool for the
U.S. Open for a $250 gift card.
And what else are we doing? Are we giving away anything else? I think that's all we're giving away right now. We have another surprise giveaway during the live stream that our members are going to love for sure. And I think that's it. A lot of new stuff that keeps coming in. A lot of new stuff.
Yeah, I had some new products at the store lately. That was exciting. Yeah, they went hot too. They went quick.
It was very quick. We're we're restocking some of this stuff too, which is, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. So, other than that, that's all I got.
Yep. Stay cool out in AZ. It's getting pretty hot out there. I think it's going to be hot in North Carolina. I know over under hole 1 by the time Tiger sweats through his Sunday red shirt on Thursday. Or will he sweat through it on the range before he gets to hole 1?
What time is his tee time?
I have no idea.
I think it's later in the day.
Oh, so definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, you ever seen him at the PGA, and he swept through that thing. I mean,
quick.
He's going to have to bring like 5 with him for the round at least.
He's going to be going through it at
zero moisture wicking, it doesn't look like.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think
it's going to be humid out there, I feel like, too, in Pinehurst.
God, yeah, it is. It's going to be tough. So,
all right. That's all we got this week. Tune in next week. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and tell if you liked it. Tell your friends. If you didn't like it, well, shove it.
Yep. See ya.